It could be like, if let's say...
this one, guess only, guess only.
So this one...
What we presume,
Yes.
what we presume.
Don't come after us, okay? We never do.
Don't follow what we say.
IRAS, I don't know. We just think only.
This is
just
our
disclaimer.
opinion, okay? Our opinion.
CA don't come and find us. Alright, welcome to our Real Talk Show. I'm Joy.
Caleb from Property Mom.
And Jackie, Avenue 88.
Alright, so today our talking point will be, I think you also have seen it in the CNA, is the 99-1 scheme that is actually been called by IRAS, and then they have called back a 60 million, correct now? 60 million, yes.
Yes,
$60 million from property buyers.
Yes. So we just want to make sure that everyone can sleep peacefully, so we do this so that you get a full picture of it and the correct understanding why it is not right to do it.
So what is the big news about?
Okay, so the big news is like what Joy mentioned, the IRAS clawback 60 million of tax from property buyers, private property buyers who use the 99-1 scheme to reduce the ABSD. So they reviewed 187 cases and they found 166 cases guilty. Okay, so they got penalty lah, basically. Yes.
So actually this article mentioned about the avoidance of ABSD.
Is it 99-1? Because we all know the real thing is not 99-1.
In fact, actually, a lot of clients also called me and asked me
yes.
because they did the 99-1 before.
Yes.
So they asked me, "Hey Jackie, am I going to be called?"
几时到我记得 will they call me and
Yes.
Okay, so just to clarify, what the article mentioned is should be 100 sell 1 instead.
Yes.
Meaning to say, like, let's say person A, when they first buy the property at 0 ABSD,
At 100%.
right? And then he sell 1% to person B. And actually that person B is supposed to pay ABSD.
Yes.
Yeah, but now because actually of that, right, they only pay ABSD of that 1% only.
So they save on the ABSD. So this is exactly what IRAS is actually catching. So
Yes.
what happened to this 166 case of buyer that got caught?
Wow. What this one? So IRAS will recover the rightful amount of stamp duty, which during them was 12%. Okay, so depends on when you get caught lah. Okay, but now if you do it, then I think you're quite stupid lah. Yeah, it's 20%.
Yeah.
Okay, so and then on top of that, they will impose a 50% surcharge on the ABSD payable.
Wow.
Yeah.
50% penalty. My God.
Yes. So for example, right, if let's say during then you purchase a 1 million property, okay, so the rightful ABSD during then was 12% of the property. So for example, if they purchase a 1 million property, the rightful ABSD during that time was 12%. So for a second property count, right, it will be 120,000. Okay. And then on top of that, the penalty will be 60K lah, 50% of the rightful ABSD payable. So total, if you buy a 1 million property, you will be charged 180K.
Wow. Hey, on top of that, I also heard if you are a whistleblower, also can make money there.
Yes, and that's right. It's up to 100,000 per case.
Wow. So if I whistleblow 2 case, then I can buy 1 car leh.
Yeah, definitely.
But just curious, why people want to do this 100 sell 1?
Okay, so 100 sell 1 is like what mentioned initially was to save on the ABSD, but what the article mentioned about 99-1, right? Actually 99-1, if you do it straight up, is legal. Okay, because it's just a proportion of shares for that property. Okay, and you pay the full ABSD on it. Okay, so now what IRAS is after is the 100 sell 1, like what Jackie mentioned. So this, if you are doing 99-1 straight up, no issue.
Yeah,
Okay?
don't worry, you guys can sleep.
Yes.
Sleep well every night.
So just to recap, the article say 99-1 scheme. This term is actually not true.
A bit misleading.
A bit misleading. So if you did a 99-1 scheme, purchase straight away is actually legal. What the article is actually saying of the cases, they actually bought in 100% and they sell away 1% to another person who very likely incurred ABSD. That is why they want to do it.
Anna.
That's right.
Yeah, Anna. Okay. So,
So for example, like let's say for a Singapore citizen buying his first property, he will not be charged with any ABSD, right?
Yes.
So and then let's say now he sell 1% to his father, and the father actually own a property already. Okay, so based on the second property count, so back then let's say it's also like 12%, and he's buying let's say a 2 million property. So by right, the father needs to pay 12% of 2 million, which is 240,000.
240,000.
Wow.
Yeah, but now because he's only buying 1% from the son, so 1% of the property value is only like 20,000, and 20,000, and then that is the property value, and then you pay 12% of 20,000. It's only 2,004.
Wow.
So the ABSD now become on that 1% only. you're saying.
Exactly. So now instead of 240,000, he only paid 2,004. So
Wow,
that's
that
why
is-
actually IRAS is so after this.
That is
So
like what,
Singaporean-
100 times.
I
100
think-
times different. My
Yeah,
God.
our education, our math actually, wow,
我
quite
们很厉害
successful
算，新加坡厉害算，新加坡。
Instead of paying 240K, you pay 2,004. So it's what we say is 正义不会不到，只是会迟到. So now the 老板have to pay 240. Sorry now not just 240.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
240 and plus give you a 50% surcharge.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's 360,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
This one can buy Porsche, but still COE
Possible.
Porsche.
Yeah, second hand sure can.
So 来讲一点故事哈. So any of both of you heard of a real case before?
Okay, so I heard of a case before is that the wife actually owns HDB before she got married. Okay, so back then she was single, then she got this HDB. So after that, then they want to own and buy another private. So they use the husband's name to go and buy the new launch first. Okay, and then in between, the husband sell 1% to the wife.
Yeah.
So the wife pay ABSD of that 1% value only.
Wow.
So of course, again, actually the new launch, okay, they bought it around 2 million back then. So now, I mean, they got called up, and then I heard lah, okay, so yes, IRAS really called them up for like 360,000 in terms of penalty
So
around
they
there.
so they pay one time or
Okay, so of course the good thing is, right, IRAS is not meant to like kill you. What they after is not your life. They only want the money.
Wow.
So they will still give you the installment package, installment scheme, so you can pay the penalty in installment. So not so
Penalty
xiong
can
lah.
installment one car saman can car saman.
You wish.
But it's really a lot leh. 300
Yes.
over K is easily a couple more than 1 year. Could be more than 1
Definitely.
year.
Yeah,
with
definitely.
leh.
You can buy a 3-room flat.
Yeah, you can buy a 3-room HDB flat already.
Yes.
So what about, because from the article itself, right, we read through not all cases actually have the penalty and then they get caught. So there are still some
Yes.
valid case, right, that
Yes.
really didn't
Yeah,
didn't pay a penalty.
Never avoid. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So on the flip side, right, there are around 31 cases that they got called up, reviewed, but then they are not charged with the penalty. So we presume actually they may be the legit reason. So like legit reason.
Yeah, it could be like if let's say
This one guess only guess
guess,
only
guess.
So this one
Yeah.
What we presume.
Yes.
What we presume.
don't come after us okay, we never do.
Don't follow what we say.
IRAS I don't know we just think only
This is
just
our
disclaimer.
opinion, okay,
Yes,
our
yes.
opinion.
CAA don't come and find us.
Okay, so what we think, right, in our opinion, could be a valid reason is, let's say I buy a new launch, okay, my first property is a new launch,
Yep.
then I
Singapore
got retrenched.
citizen.
Singapore citizen,
Ah.
yes. I got retrenched, okay, let's say I got retrenched, and the loan start to kick in already.
Yeah.
So I can't pay the loan, correct?
Yeah.
Then I bo pian, so I got to get my father in, so I sell the 1% to my dad so that I can take the loan and of course tap
Use
on
the
his
father's name,
CPF.
father's income to
Yes.
support the loan.
Correct. And
Okay.
of course, to utilize the CPF lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that could be a valid reason. We don't know. But if you want to know, you comment down there. We give you IRAS email. Then you can email them and ask them whether is it valid or not. Okay. So don't take our words. We never.
Okay, so I want to add in a bit more. Okay. So actually for this 100 cell one, usually we applies
Yes.
more to the progressive payment. Why so? Because progressive payment, initial you only need the 5%, 15%, and then after which you can wait for another 6 to 9 months before foundation is caught. And during this period, then you can go and get your loan and done and all. So what Caleb mentioned just now is that in between these 6 to 9 months, what if the guy got retrenched?
Yes.
It is a very valid reason. It may happen to some people. So you got the father to come in with a stronger income to support his loan. So it may happen. So
Yes.
maybe okay, this is really guesstimation.
Our opinion only,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah,
Our
we
opinion
guess
only. Guess
don't
only,
fault us,
okay?
yes.
Don't quote us.
Don't follow.
IRAS people, if you are watching this, no,
Yeah.
it's just our opinion. Yeah.
Yes.
But actually also just on a thought lah, just one
Yep.
thought lah.
Yeah.
Since this is illegal, right? Yeah.
Which one is illegal?
No,
100 cell one?
since this 100 cell one is illegal, and then this
100 cell one, don't
166
say
case,
99 one.
yeah, get caught. But the weird thing is illegal. But why? Okay, one thing maybe the consumer doesn't know that, or maybe they also know it's illegal lah. But one thing is illegal, but yet the lawyers still do. I know
You
lah.
don't know?
We don't
Okay.
know. I also don't know. Right? Yeah, because if it's
Food for
illegal,
thought.
yeah.
Okay, so to be fair, all these cases actually didn't happen yesterday, right?
Yes,
It
yes,
happened
yes,
back
yes,
in
yes.
2018 to
Yeah.
2018 to 2021 during this period.
correct.
So a lot of cases of this is not really a new thing. It happened back then, but how come only now then got reviewed, right? But of course, I mean this is like what Joy mentioned,
正义不正义不会不到，只是会迟到。
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you never know when IRAS suddenly will call you up.
Yeah, so before we do a summary, right? Then because a lot of people also ask us lah, they hear that and then both of us actually did 99 purchase lah, 99 one purchase for our current
Yeah.
property. Then when they see this article come out, right, they also ask, wow, is it legal or not, whatever. So in summary, right, just now what we're saying, IRAS claw back this 60 million are those buyer actually do 100% and then they sell 1% to a person who will incur ABSD. So for us, we actually buy directly 99 and 1% directly into the property itself. Maybe you can explain.
Yeah. So for us, we enter straight in 99 one. As I explained before, if you enter straight in 99 one, if you have ABSD, it's a full ABSD.
Bo
Okay,
pian
but
lah.
if you don't have any property count,
Yes.
it's still valid because it's just a proportion
Yeah.
of shares in the property. So like maybe because during then I was the sole breadwinner, so I used all my CPF in. Yeah, so we discussed and we say that Joy wanted a say in the property. Yeah, so
What say is I tell you first, okay, why I want this 1%? Because if don't have this 1%, even the OTP when it's issued, I may not know that the house is sold. So with this 1% 很重要. This 1% don't have this 1% signature, the OTP cannot be issued. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think the thing is the intention of doing it. What is the intention? Yeah, if the intention is really to avoid ABSD,
ABSD.
right? Then you know lah, your intention is wrong and IRAS will call you out. Yeah. But if something is valid, right, I believe IRAS will understand and let you go lah, basically.
Okay, we can't say the word let you go lah, but then they will review also lah. Get ready
They
for
will
your
review. They will review. Yeah, but
They will call you out for coffee.
They won't go and ask you for penalty lah.
Yeah.
Basically.
So
Yes.
basically, IRAS or they don't really care whether you are buying it at a 70-30 proportion, 80-20, 99-1, so long you pay your tax.
Yes.
So,
right.
but if you do it in a creative way, you sell certain percent, so 1%, 10%, 20%, doesn't matter how much is the percentage. And you sell to someone that already have a property, who is a foreigner, who very likely pay a ABSD, and because of this one, they calculate why it's a saving, they pay lesser, then this is avoidance. So
Yes.
this is what exactly IRAS is actually going after.
Yes.
So if you have any burning question regarding property, do drop a DM below and we will see how is it. But very likely, we will really look at it and then we will do an episode for that. And this is Joy,
And Caleb from Property Mom.
And Jackie from Avenue 88.
and we will see
See
you
you
soon.
soon.
Bye.
Bye.